Hello!
Hi, everyone. It's time to fall down the Persona hole again.
Woo! Persona, woo! Punch!
As you can tell, this is Persona 3. Persona 3 Portable, specifically. While I do own the PS2 version of the game, Persona 3 Portable is actually a little more full-featured in a lot of ways. I'll be sure to describe the main differences, but quick introductions. So, I'm Ross, I play Persona, I'm the one that actually took all the gameplay footage for this, and I am the Persona expert. I actually do panels at conventions. Madhog is the newcomer. He has only played Persona 5 and seen an hour of Persona 1.
So, essentially, this Persona whole show that we're having is Ross talks to Madhog about games he has not played.
Essentially.
And Madhog listens for the most part.
And Madhog is afraid to play these games.
Madhog has better things to do than to play these games, honestly. I am not feeling motivated to after Persona 5.
You should really try Persona 4, but I will digress on that.
I mean, I can't fall into the hole again, man. I can't.
But Persona 3 is the beginning of the familiar Persona structure of a year calendar that's lived day by day and having a lot of discretionary free time while going to some other alternate dimension of some kind in fighting with parts of your psyche.
So it is the beginning of stressful gameplay. I get it.
Yes. So, Persona 3 has several versions of it.
Yes, so you told me, or, hinted, or, covered, overall, in the first Persona
And
hole.
also, this is the one where they shoot themselves in the head with guns.
Put it in my head.
Yes,
Pull the trigger.
that's pretty much the only thing I know this game for.
Like
and
that.
Here we go. What? What is this blood? I hope this isn't Chris's blood.
Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, Persona 3 was originally released as a standalone game, followed by the Persona 3 FES edition, which added a unneeded and incredibly difficult epilogue to the game that has the single best music track in the series to it, and that's about the only reason why I could bother with it. And finally, we have this, Persona 3 Portable, which adds a lot of niceties that were introduced in Persona 4 to the game. Specifically, a big one is when you go dungeon crawling in Persona 3, especially in the PS2 versions of the game, instead of having to worry about just SP and HP, you also have to worry about the fact that you get tired after a time. And once you get tired, you get so massively debuffed you have to pull out of the dungeon. It's actually quite annoying. So, you can get tired in Persona 3 Portable, but only if basically your character is downed, or one of your side characters is downed, and you have to had to have them go back to the bottom of the tower to revive. Or you don't take care of, resting occasionally. So right now we have super spooky coughing time.
Right, with Persona 5, I eventually was able to clear out a dungeon, or a palace, if you will, all in one go. So,
it's possible
to be presented... So to be presented with such a, distressing gameplay element in addition to everything else, that might just pull me out of the game entirely.
The other thing is basically the entirety of Persona 3's dungeon is mementos. I mean, structurally it works almost identically to it.
So you told me?
Reaper included. So...
Well, you don't get to travel aboard a cat bus, do you?
No, you don't get to travel aboard a cat bus.
You're
Okay,
late.
Ross.
I've been
Yes?
waiting a long time.
Sing it with me.
Yes?
If you want to proceed,
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day.
It only binds you to accepting.
Yes,
full
let's just sign a random
responsibility for your
contract from a
actions.
mysterious boy. This is going to go well.
Hey, come on, Ross. He just wants to make you a magical girl, boy. With a chainsaw.
I mean, you could have
Who's
picked
also
a
a
girl.
zombie.
I mean, you could have picked a female character in Persona 3 Portable, the only main game in the series that you can do that.
Meh. You know, this opens a whole kettle of fish about,
Why you can't do that in every game in the series? Yeah, it's...
Also that, but also the romancing options. You know, I understand that's a big part of Japanese gaming, having the
Very well.
romantic
Time was
dating
something
simulation
no one can escape.
aspect to it.
delivers us all to
Well,
It
it
was
was
certainly a big
Wish it
part
won't
in
make
the
it go
entirety
away.
of the Sakura Wars
And
series.
so it
Yes, it was
begins.
also one of the things that made Persona 3 unique when it came out, too.
But here's the problem, and this is stemming from Japan's sort of
Who's there?
a bit, let's say it, backwards
How can you be?
social politics, if you will.
Don't tell me.
Uh-huh.
If you're a boy, you can only romance girls. If you're a girl, you can only romance boys. There is no consideration whatsoever for non-binary characters.
Yes.
Which is something that games, it feels like games on this day, they have to provide for, because there are so many people in the world and everybody is different. So it doesn't feel right, you know, to
To be
limit.
fair, it's not just Japan, even US games making very slow progress in that
US
regard.
games are
guess
making
we'll see.
progress. That's
They are
the
making
key
progress
difference.
slowly, but
She'll be a junior this spring, just like you.
Well, indie games are just all over the other side of the fence in that regard.
true.
They don't care.
Huh?
They just make whatever they want to.
Well,
For example, I
it's
just
sorta like a
recently
hobby.
discovered
Well,
that
not a hobby,
Butterfly, a
you know
character
how it is
from
these
Creepy
days.
Castle,
It's for self-defense.
is
It's not a
transsexual
real gun, of course.
Interesting.
It's getting late.
by
The game should already be there.
admission of the
I'll show you the
author.
way. Follow
Hmm.
me.
I would not have known, honestly, and it would not have mattered anyway because it's a cute game in which you punch other monsters.
Well, this
With
is a cute
elaborate
game, in which
minigames.
case you
should
punch
remember,
death.
huh? Since it's right at the end of the hall.
There is nothing cute
So,
about Persona,
any
if you ask me. Anyway, back on the original topic.
What are you talking about?
Personally, I would
Come on,
not
it's not
have
funny.
the romancing options in these games. I would leave the option
can I ask you
open for
something?
befriending
On your way from the
everybody,
station.
Mhm.
including
everything
girls
okay?
if you play as a boy, and vice versa. But I would not have romancing
You know
with
what I mean.
anyone, because if
Never
you
mind.
have
Seems like
romancing
you're all right.
with
Yeah,
some
I don't know
characters
going.
as opposed to others, then you open up the whole kettle of fish that I was speaking of, the black hole,
I have
the
other
slight
questions,
variety
but
on the
let's save
persona
them for
hole,
later, okay?
if you will.
Yes.
Good night.
But if
Do
you're
you-
but if you're befriending people instead of going after them romantically, then you're putting them all on the same ground. You can be friends with women for a change, and not just, being their boyfriend. Imagine that! It is possible being friends with girls. Did you know that?
Really? Wow.
Yes, that's my point exactly. So, yes, that's what I would do.
Okay, so here's
It
one
would
of the
make-
major concessions made to the portable version of the game. You don't actually run around the game world outside of the dungeon sections. I love how they actually have parts on the calendar that you can't participate in because the game skips over that part. That's fantastic. That's something I was like looking at. Like, wait, why is there all these sections of the calendar that you don't actually experience?
I guess you're in a coma in those days because you're getting too much bumps on the head. Too many bumps on the head, you know?
I I mean, you literally have finals slated in there, but anyway, as you can see, you have to parse over various points of interest instead of walking around.
So it is
PSP
more
version.
akin to a visual novel.
Yes. Basically, pulling the entire PS2 game was actually very daunting to do on the PSP, so unfortunately some concessions had to be made.
You actually told me about this already last time.
Okay.
It's Yukari. Are you awake?
Nah, ignore her.
Nope! Ignore
Going
her!
back to sleep.
Hello? Please answer the door or I'll get in
Is
trouble.
she the proverbial girl next door that just busts the door down to
Good
just
morning.
get you to
Did
wake
you sleep
up?
Okay? Let's
Not
see
quite,
who's
she's
tired
more the
after you take you to
tsundere.
school. Are you ready to go?
Ah,
Because
Healer.
there always has to be one.
Oh.
I mean, she's not
Healer.
like a heavy
You
tsundere,
wanna
but
risk
she is a
being
bit of a
Thrower.
tsundere.
Do you?
down
Come
a
on,
bus.
hurry and get
A
ready.
cat bus. Favorably.
And then there's two other girls in the game, besides the robot, we'll get to her.
You have to take the monorail to get there.
Um,
Is that
but
your last
the-
one?
Will we
the-
do?
Uh-huh. This is my favorite part, when it feels
What was
like
that?
we're gliding over the
Will
sea.
we do?
Our stop is Port
Oh,
Island
well, I
Station
mean,
at the
I
end
will
of the
discuss
line.
it briefly
From
in
there,
this.
we
It's
walk.
not like
Have
we'll
you ever
actually
heard of
play
Tatsumi
enough into
Port
Persona
Island?
3 to get to
It's
the
a
robot.
man-made
She's
island.
like halfway
They
through the
built our
game.
school right in the
I
middle.
should hope so.
Oh look, you can see it now.
But anyway, the second girl that you will meet is basically the is it Kudere? I think it's the Kudere. The Rei Ayanami type.
Kudere?
Morning.
Yeah, they actually
Right.
have
That's
basically
okay.
the
Hi.
like kind of
You're
cold,
gonna love it
emotionless,
here.
logical person that's
Uh,
kind of harsh
it's-
on people.
It rhymes on tsundere.
You're okay from here, right? You should go see your homeroom teacher
But not
first.
like,
The faculty office is
it's
right there
different
to the left.
than
And
the
that
tsundere.
concludes the tour. Do you have any questions?
Then you
before
have
I
the
go?
geek, who ends up becoming your navigator.
I don't know. I haven't
I
looked at
guess
the
think of
task
her
course.
as
yet. Hey,
think of her as
about last night,
proto
don't
Futaba.
tell anyone what you saw. Okay?
Yeah.
See you later.
Only she's more of like the mousy bookworm type of geek as opposed to elite hacksaw geek.
Right. You just said words.
Yay! So this
So are
song
we going-
definitely
so-
does not
so-
get annoying.
So
It
are we
does.
going to solve the mystery of who murdered the fat guy?
No, that's the next game that has the mystery. This one basically just has you going into a tower for no reason.
I was referencing Danganronpa, but that's okay.
Oh man. Yeah, this game kinda has a lot of narrative faults. Like, a lot of them.
Wow, that's saying something.
Are you the
Yes.
student?
Okay, so the
11th grade, correct?
concept of the game essentially is that,
Wow, you've lived in a lot of different places.
every full moon,
In
a
1999, that
humongous
was
shadow
10 years
attacks,
ago?
and you have
Your
to fight them
parents.
off. The characters are under the impression
I've
that
been so
if
busy, I
they
didn't have time
defeat
to read
all
this before.
13 of the big shadows,
I'm
then
Victoria.
the
I teach
mysterious
competitions.
otherworldly
Welcome to
thing
our
called the
school.
Dark Hour that we briefly
Wow,
discussed
such
last
enthusiasm.
time
Have you seen the
will
costume
cease to
design?
exist,
You're
and
a
they will
2F.
save
That's
the
right.
world.
But first, we
Save
need to
the
go to the auditorium. The
world.
welcoming ceremony
Yes.
will be starting soon.
The problem is, all of these big shadows don't come from that stupid tower that you have to climb.
Okay.
Making
Yes, you told me.
making the narrative existence of climbing this tower completely pointless until the very end of the game. It's much in the
Ow.
way that, like, there's no payoff to mementos until the very end of Persona 5. Well, imagine
Yes.
imagine if you had something as disconnected as Mementos is to the main storyline, and have that be the only dungeon that you ever go in.
Well, the pacing of this game must be terrible.
You have no idea. Like, fucking nothing happens for the first 30 hours of this game.
Lovely.
Quiet. You're going to get me in
Because
trouble.
you don't get answers to anything until, like, the 30-hour mark. Literally, like, so
Fantastic.
why is there a dark hour? I don't know. Why are big shadows coming out every full moon? Why is there a fucking robot walking around?
How's it going?
Pretentious religious imagery?
Me?
Oh yeah.
I'm Junpei Yeo.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
A guy
When I was
ascending?
in 8th grade. I know how it is being a new
Essentially
kid.
the
So
main
when I
character
say,
is Jesus.
"Hey, see what a nice guy I am?"
Okay, never heard that idea before. What a novel concept.
Hey, it's
To the
Yuka
point that
Chan.
he even gets crucified
We'd
at
be
one
in
point in
same
the
class
story.
again.
They aren't
Again,
subtle.
huh? I swear
When
I
is this
talk to
series
everyone,
ever?
but listen, did you
So
ever see
why
me
is
bothering
this
someone?
series popular again?
But I was just being friendly.
If you say so.
I honestly
coincidence that we'd
don't
be in
really
the
see
same
the
homeland,
massive appeal of Persona 3 beyond the gameplay addiction.
Yeah, right. Still, I'm
Oh, so it's just like Persona 5 then.
Hello? Are you forgetting that I'm in this class too?
Unfortunately,
By the way,
well,
I
fortunately
heard
or
you came to
unfortunately,
school
I cut my
together this
teeth
morning.
on Persona 4
What's
and
up
went
with
back
that?
to Persona
Come
3,
on,
so,
give me the dirt.
What are
I
you
have a
talking
lower
about?
opinion of Persona
We
3
live
than
in the
I
same
might have
dorm.
if I
There's
had
nothing
played
going
it
on, okay?
first.
Why are people
Maybe.
even talking about it? Now you have
Maybe.
me worried.
Basically what it comes down to is,
Hey, you didn't say
the
anything
Persona
to
games,
anyone about
especially 3 and 4, are very character-driven
You
more
forgot
than
already?
story-driven.
Seriously.
I mean,
Don't say
even more so
anything
than
about last
Persona
night,
5
alright?
is.
I mean,
What?
again, this is the same problem I brought last
Wait a
time. I
minute.
brought up
Don't get the wrong idea.
last time.
Listen. I just
If you have
met
a
him yesterday,
story-driven
and there's
game,
absolutely
you better
nothing
be sure
to
your
it.
story is good and your characters are good, because if they're not,
For the archery team.
then you've
You
got
better not start
nothing.
any rumors.
Again, the problem with Persona 3 is there's actually good stuff in here. There really is. It's just
who cares?
back-ended
No one
so
takes rumors
far
seriously anyway.
that
It's so
unless you have
paranoid.
some serious
But hey, it's your
endurance,
first day
you'll
here and
never
people are
get
already
to it,
talking
because
about
it
you. Believe it or
does
not, she's
adequately
actually pretty popular. You're
pursue
mad.
some pretty heavy
This is gonna be a
themes.
fun year. I can
And
feel it.
it does it pretty well. But, again, you have to get all the way to,
Well,
like,
check out
to the
jocks on
very
run.
back end of the
Say,
game to
you
get
thinking
to
about
it.
joining a club? You'd be joining as a new member, though,
And
so you won't be able to apply for a
To
little
get
while.
there, you have to deal with the first 30 hours of which nothing of real interest happens besides just the grind.
30 hours.
30 hours.
Welcome back.
Basically, you have to get to summer before anything starts happening in this game.
That's no good.
Yeah. So imagine how problematic it was when they were like, let's make a series of 4 movies based on this game.
Oh, and now you're going to talk about the Persona 3 movies, and I'm going to sit here and listen to you and pretend I'm interested. Go
You
on.
really shouldn't be interested in the Persona 3 movies, because the first 2 are awful.
I was not interested before, I guess now I'll do a better job at not caring.
Like,
Wait, did somebody just went to the bathroom?
yes, he went to the bathroom. You can go to the bathroom and occasionally it actually makes you less tired.
That flushing noise was long.
Yeah, it is. You can go to the bathroom in every Persona game, actually.
Yes, I have noticed that. I guess it's a place to think about stuff, about
Yeah,
life, about things to do.
Basically, the game will remind you of something that you may have forgotten or missed. Usually, except in Persona 3, in which case it's like, that was refreshing. You might actually feel better today. Counteracting that whole tired system I was talking about. There was also only 3 social stats to grind up in Persona 3
I know.
instead of
Oh,
6.
thank
People
goodness.
who had no problems before are suddenly developing acute cases of apathy.
But back to the
I've seen it
movies.
in
The
the news
movies.
quite often lately.
Basically, the
They say
3rd
it's
movie
due to
gets
stress,
okay. The
but-
4th movie
Yeah,
is
right. It has
legitimately
to be
good,
bad.
but
Otherwise,
you had
it's
to
not worth
suffer
my
through
time.
the first 3 movies to get there,
You
so
have a
it's not
one-track
worth it.
mind. Will you be okay on your
I
It's
own?
like
mean,
what-
Don't
duh.
worry. I'm just
So
getting a
it's
little
like one of those
practice.
things, like, if you cut out everything that's more or less superfluous in here, you could have done this in 2 movies. At most.
This isn't a game, Akihiko.
It feels like it it's trying to be too faithful to the games and not trying to adapt it.
No, Ross. It's milking the game's success for all that it is worth it, because fans will buy out everything. Why else would you make 4 of these blasted movies? Why else would you retell Madoka Magica in 3 movies? You know, to bring up an old complaint of mine.
Okay, well, the Madoka Magica stuff was done by the same company!
Oh, you don't say!
Aniplex.
You don't say!
Yep, Aniplex. And to make matters worse, Aniplex of America is the worst anime distributor, like, that deals in North America, like, at all. So instead of, you know, doing a exclusive North America release for most of those things and, you know, actually trying to compete against the other companies pricing-wise and everything, they'll be like, we'll just release the Japanese version. We'll just basically release the same Japanese disc and charge $80 for it. All of the individual Persona 3 movies cost $80 US here.
I am profoundly befuddled.
They also did the same thing with Madoka Magica. The freaking Rebellion! You know, the shitty continuation movie?
Yeah, the film that I hate with a passion, yes.
That cost $120.
That's why I don't
here.
like introducing myself. Even I get tongue-tied sometimes. I apologize for
Wow.
the confusion regarding your accommodations.
Yes!
It almost feels
It
like
may take
it's
a while
illegal.
longer before you receive the proper room
I
assignment.
wish it were,
Is there
but no.
anything you'd like to ask?
The reason for it is actually
To welcome you, of course.
pretty scummy, too.
Where's Mitsuru?
Okay, so there's a thing in Japan called reverse importing. So Japan and the USA share the same region code, NTSC.
Yukari here, Mitsuru.
So that
and
means
the
that
senior name,
DVDs
Akihiko
and Blu-rays are
I hope you all
cross-compatible.
get along. Do
So you
have
could
another
buy
question?
one in Japan, you know, playing a US player just
You
fine.
saw something strange.
So what
Like what?
people were
You
doing
were probably
is
just
when
tired.
the
I
anime
wouldn't
was
worry about it.
licensed and released in
Do you have
America,
another question?
people from Japan would actually
Then,
buy
I
the
hope you
cheaper
have a
US
successful
version of
school
it
year.
and have it
Now, if
in
you'll excuse me,
reverse import it back
you
to
must be
Japan to
tired
save
from all the
money.
Excitement. You should go to bed early.
Aniplex
Ah.
putting end to that on
Catches
all
the
of their
bookworm. Please
properties.
forgive the bad pun.
So essentially they're charging us out the nose because they really do not care about the American market whatsoever. It's all to keep prices high in Japan. Pretty scummy, huh?
Yes.
And sleeping!
Are you sure Aniplex is not owned by Eddie from Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
Working hard?
I don't
So,
know.
how's he doing?
Seems like a scam up his alley.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, and they're
let's
watching
wait
him
and see
sleep.
for now. The dark
That's
hour is
great.
approaching.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're watching the main character sleep.
You
To
know,
a
I have
camera.
not been following the storyline at all so far, so you will have to, you know, catch me up to speed.
Okay, so what is going? We should probably be commenting at least somewhat on the game footage too.
I mean, if you have to, if we have to, man, it's only not like I care or anything.
Okay, so basically, they are apparently people that own the dorm that your main character is staying at are spying on him for unknown reasons at this point.
Let me guess. Those reasons will become known at the end of the game.
No, they will be known pretty quickly, but...
Oh.
And now, welcome to the weird supernatural thing that exists at midnight, because it's almost always at midnight.
Huh?
The dark hour, the extra hour that exists.
Well, I mean, it's called the Dark Hour. It would be weird if it's, you know, taking place at 12 a.m.
What's happening to me?
I mean, at 12 p.m.
Right.
Because 12 a.m. is midnight. Duh.
Yes.
Also, oh no! I'm an extra from Cube! And I'm dying!
Well, that was fun.
Yes. Are we done here? No? There's
No.
more? Okay.
Back at a certain room in the dormitory.
He's still sleeping. The dark hour occurs every day at 12.
Oh, you don't say!
You could say
You mean to
it's
tell me every
midnight.
day we have a
During this
midnight?
time,
No!
An ordinary person transmogrifies into a coffin and is oblivious to all that occurs.
Then
He must be the
As you can
chosen
see,
one.
He's retained his human form. He's asleep, but he's definitely
The
experiencing
dark hour.
The
Dark
only
Where
question that
every
remains
where
is
every
whether or
go
not
of
he has
poets
the
and
potential.
emo
Although
and
he must. If he
and
didn't,
freaking
they would have preyed on him.
and said
Edgelord.
punk
Scary.
and said
In any
edgelord and
case,
punk
we should
girls
continue
come
to
out at
monitor
night
for
and
a few
read
more
poetry
days.
to each other. It's the dark hour.
Spying on him like this.
You shouldn't feel
Ro-
bad spying on him. You should do it more, actually.
Roses are red.
Still sleeping.
Cranberries are the color of cranberries, and the night shines bright like the sun, even though it's night. I feel sad. Clap, clap, clap. A for effort, I guess. Oh no, I'd recognize this music anywhere. Oh dear lord, what happened to you, man?
To the Velvet Room.
Did you?
Igor.
Were you hit by a car out of the grocery store?
Is Elizabeth. She's a resident here, like myself.
Pleased to meet you.
This
Oh my
place
gosh,
exists between
seriously.
reality, mind, and matter. Only those who have signed the contract.
It's very
can
clear
enter
that they
this
are trying to
place.
go for the actual, like, Frankenstein Igor's
Henceforth,
voice here.
You shall be welcome here in the Velvet
But are
Room.
kind of failing.
Honestly, judging by his eyes, I'd say he's more like Igor than Igor.
I only ask one thing in return.
Dr. Frankenstein.
But actually, all the Velvet Room residents are named after characters in
Mary
Frankenstein. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein.
That is a cute leitmotif to have, even though it's...
I mean, it's
Doesn't
more of
really
an
mean
Easter
anything.
egg. Yeah, it's more of an Easter egg than anything else. But it's just something that's fun to realize.
I mean, Igor. When you say the name Igor, the first thing I think of is the lab assistant Igor that was invented for the Frankenstein films back in the 40s. Because it was not a character in the book.
Mm-hmm. But all the female characters are specifically from the book.
Oh,
all the
you mean
residents?
All 2 of them?
There's actually 5 of them in total, one for each game.
Well, you know, there's only so many names you can give to the Frankenstein's bride-to-be that dies and then is reborn as the bride of Frankenstein the monster.
Well, Frankenstein is the scientist, not the monster. The monster is just the monster.
Well, you know, technically he is the son of Frankenstein, so he could get his last name.
But yeah, I really never cared for this particular song because it's so repetitive.
But the point is that Dr. Frankenstein's bride-to-be in James Whale's Frankenstein, and the bride of Frankenstein, as in the iconic lady monster from Bride of
Universal's
Frankenstein.
film, yes.
Yes. In those movies, they are 2 different characters. In the book, they are the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very tragic story.
I'm certain. Oh, this song I like, though.
Whenever I hang out with the guys from school...
So, are we supposed to be commenting on this game, or...?
Yeah, unfortunately there's just not much going on right now.
You know, we can interrupt this, you know, we can cut off this early.
Well, there's stuff coming up, it's just this part specifically is just relatively dull. It's just like, hey, here's places that you can go later.
So, tell me about the characters, I guess? Should I care? Should I don't?
So, Junpei is the Ryuji of this game.
I guess that's one way of putting it. So wait, he goes around declaring loudly, "Hey, I'm a member of this game's equivalent of the Phantom Thieves. We're saving the world, guys."
Not quite, but he's
and he's going. Wait, well, let me guess. I know there is a dog character in this game.
Yes,
Is he going to fight with the dog constantly?
No. The dog is actually not sentient. Or at least not, like, highly sentient.
Oh, so they're not... Oh my gosh, it's such a missed opportunity to play... It's such a missed opportunity to make their own Scooby-Doo clone.
Oh, God.
It's like the Scooby Gang, they're going to solve the mystery of the Dark Hour, and the main character guy, as Freddy, is all like, "Okay, gang, let's split up and find the clues to solve this mystery. Jeepers!" says Daphne, and the dog is like, "Ruh, ruh, ruh."
And you actually had the robot translate the dog for some reason.
I guess the robot can be Shaggy.
I mean, here's the thing: they don't explain how she can do this in this game. They actually do so in like a Persona 4 spin-off, like years later. I'm just like, I really don't think anyone was calling into question the fact that the robot can translate a dog. I think at the point that you shoved a robot and a dog in this game, if you weren't completely disinvested, you're basically going to roll with the punches at that point.
Yes, the punches to the head, that is.
Memory loss, disorientation,
Punch!
subject is rather unique.
Though he used an axe, to be fair.
The common symptoms.
But we're treating him like a guinea pig.
I understand your concern, but it's
just like,
that we
what we're doing is wrong. I don't care what we're doing is wrong.
Wouldn't you be more comfortable working with someone from the same grade?
Don't worry, something's actually about to happen.
Damn it, we are creating the next Scooby-Doo clone. This is what all this money has been spent for.
You're not gonna believe this. This thing is huge.
Oh my.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to talk.
Oh yes, I can sense by the urgency in your voice that you are definitely worried about whatever is chasing you.
Mr. Chairman, let's suspend our observation.
Oh no, prepare for battle.
Right.
Emergency, tension, stakes, acting.
I'm acting!
Bravo! There's a monster, Shaggy! Says the dog.
The dog still isn't introduced until about the same time as the robot, unfortunately.
Oh.
I know! The dog's the best part of this game.
Ready to be
surprised. It'll be here
Scooby-Doo, guys!
This is no time to joke around.
Scooby-Doo!
It's one of them, Akihiko?
Yes, but not an ordinary one.
You know, I've actually seen the cast of Persona 5 redrawn as Scooby-Doo characters.
I think I've seen that one too.
Wait, no, it was the cast from Persona 4. They should do it for Persona 3 because they have an actual dog in here.
True.
And the robot should be the robotic maid from the
Jetsons.
Richie Rich cartoon.
No!
Oh, you remember that one?
I do, sadly.
Oh, wait, you know, the 70s was a very, very dark time for cartoons.
It was. To be fair, the late 80s and early 90s could be too. Remember a pup named Scooby-Doo?
Well, you know, at the very least, the 80s were able to revitalize the industry of animation that was dying in the 70s because they had not figured out that they could sell toys to make a profit. So, ironically, selling toys and merchandising saved cartoons.
Yay, she handed me a short sword. Like, she was just carrying a short sword with her. Like, here, have a short sword. Like, what the fuck do you have a short sword for?
Can I have a
Alright,
Scooby snack
we
instead?
should be safe now.
Should be safe. Famous last words.
Do you read me?
Yes.
Oh
I
no!
hear you.
It's
Be
behind
careful. There's
you!
more than one enemy. The one we're fighting isn't the one Akihiko saw.
What?
Wait, what's the dog's name?
Koromaru.
Karamaru-do, where are you?
And his persona is Cerberus.
Oh, that's not redundant in the slightest.
Right?
Oh no!
It's getting closer.
It's getting closer!
I can totally see it now!
Keep moving. Hurry.
In front of me! It's a thing!
Oh, concessions made for the portable format. You could
It's
actually
funnier.
see it in the PS3 game, but PS2 game, I should say.
I
so.
bet it looks fantastic with that PS2 graphics.
Yeah,
The
no.
door's locked. I think we're safe for now.
Yes, why do you keep saying that?
Oh no! Here's the dark hour! Wait, what? I'm sorry. Are we getting attacked by pirates? Yes.
No, just
My-
Lovecrafting monstrosities.
Climbed up the
My
wall.
reaction exactly.
There. They're on the roof.
That gigantic shadow. Just what is it we're dealing with?
Let's go,
Let's go,
Mitsuru,
Mitsuru.
to acting school.
Wait.
No, don't help out the people with no combat experience.
Jeepers! That's a
That's
scary
the thing that attacked
thing!
This place. We call them shadows. Oh yeah. I have to fight.
Let's
I'll do
remember
someone.
that.
No problem.
Oh man. Is this the first battle scenario?
Yes.
Good. Finally. You probably should point that gun at the monster, not at yourself. I'm just saying. Who trained you? Also the clown? Also, I only noticed just now that the main character is with them.
Yes.
Because, you know, it was such an imposing presence in the plot.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm glad he knows that he has to shoot himself in the head to unleash his persona. That sure is the right thing to do, kids! Wow, that is the most edgelordy persona I've seen.
That's Orpheus. No, that's the most edgelordy persona you've ever seen.
I like that he's just buttering him. This looks kind of nice, I guess. Also, teenagers shooting themselves in the head. Also, teenagers shooting themselves in the head.
On earth was
Because
that?
Japan does not have a suicide problem.
No. To be fair, there was a lot of backlash to that decision.
Oh gee, I wonder
Atlas took a
why.
lot of shit for that.
I mean, it's as tonally deaf as it can get. Right, so Persona!
Yay, we got a
You know-
starting persona. That's
okay,
pretty
so-
lame, actually.
Okay, so girl, I hope you learn how to point a gun at
Is it
people
over?
properly, because you will not go far in the CIA
No.
at this rate.
It's still moving. No.
Yes. I always had that effect on girls.
Pretty much. And
What?
here comes the real
What is
battle
the-
music.
What's with this music?
This is called Mass Destruction. This is the real battle theme. This is the only battle theme for regular battles.
You're going to listen to this for 60 hours?
Yes.
Oh dear god. Hey, that's not nice. Also, that action bar almost looked like a Windows error screen. You know? Dun, 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 dun.
And you can see the 3 social stats in this. There. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yes, there we go. There's Orpheus. It looks so badass. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Yes.
Dot.
Easily the most underwhelming Persona, like, and beginning Persona in the franchise.
Are you okay?
To be fair, his Ultimate
on,
Persona's not
please.
terrible as
Can
its
you hear me?
Messiah.
Answer me!
Well, I mean, you know,
He literally summons fucking Jesus.
but I thought he was Jesus.
He's the Jesus allegory. He summons actual Messiah.
Well, that's not redundant in the slightest. By the
It's so
way,
nice to see you again.
as I was
You became
saying, you know,
unconscious after awakening
rarely,
to your
if ever,
power.
the, you know, Pokemon starter is the best Pokemon in the game.
You.
That power is called a persona.
Well, you know,
It is a manifestation
actually,
of
Except-
your psyche.
You always ditch your starting Persona and Persona games, like, almost immediately.
yes.
When you use your persona ability, you must channel your inner strength.
Same spiel they
The
do in, like,
ability
freaking
evolves
every
as
game.
You develop your social links, your emotional ties with others.
Yeah,
You
they
see?
look just like
Stronger your
confidants.
social links,
I mean, does it
the more
feel wrong to you
powerful
that a
your
person that
persona.
looks like he has no social life whatsoever is instructing you how to get a social life?
Time marches on in your world.
But come on, he has a lovely assistant.
Next time we meet,
I
you
mean,
will come
I'm
with
assuming
us
he's
around
rich,
the
he has white
Until
gloves.
then, farewell.
Right? He's as rich as a puppet made from a god can be, I suppose. I mean, he gets. I mean, he gets. I mean, he gets around. I mean, he's in an elevator here. He gets a stretch limo in the 4th game, and in Persona 5, he gets a prison.
Yes, what's up with that?
What,
You're
the prison?
Everything.
The doctor
So basically,
couldn't
it's a
find
framing
anything wrong with
device.
you. He said you were just
Only it
exhausted.
actually has no plot purpose to this game, like,
I'm
at
sorry I
all.
couldn't
So,
But
it's
your power,
not a good
it was
framing device.
amazing.
No, it's not at all. Basically, it's just there to
You mean
kind
the
of like,
shadows?
here, have a
They're what
place
we're
that
fighting
you can do
against.
gameplay
And
stuff.
the power you used, we call it
Persona. You know, if this were to be any other game, I'd
We'll
like to
explain
think
everything
that
later.
it's about
I'm
a
sorry
group
I didn't
of
tell you before.
amateur thespians trying to learn how to act in their
sort of like you.
in their theater group. You know,
Persona.
persona. This is my
My mom and I
persona.
aren't
I'm a
exactly on
method
terms.
actor, you see.
We're all of them too,
Actually,
right?
that might not be a
honest,
bad
I already
idea
know
for a
that.
later entry in the
Well, it wasn't
series.
fair, so I wanted to
Yeah,
know
sure,
about
why
mine.
not?
Basically, Sakura was this
It was
shit
back
up.
in '99. There was a big
Yeah,
explosion
Sakura
in the
Wars
area.
had a theater in every
Supposedly,
game,
my dad
didn't
died
it?
in the blast.
Yep.
I mean, it was
Nobody
the
really knows
official
what happened.
cover-up for the activities of the one guy plus 5 girls harem task force
Yep.
to defeat the bad guys of a darkness.
He was
Yes.
working in a lab run by the Kirijo group.
You have a soft spot for
So,
Sakura
I'm
5,
hoping
I
if
mean
I
for
stick around
Sakura
long enough,
Wars
I'll
5,
find out
as you know,
Mhm.
even though it's
I know.
absolutely
That's why I'm
detestable at
going to
points.
focus on mine. While
Yes,
was
I
there,
know
was
your
helping
mixed
you.
feelings on
Of
that.
course, I panicked and wasn't much help.
I mean,
Basically,
It was my
I
first
think
time
you
fighting
might
you
have
too.
had the same type of love for
I'm
Persona
sorry.
if you had
You
rung
wouldn't have
across
to
it
go through
around
all
the
this
same
if I wasn't
time.
such a coward.
you know, that might have just been the case.
Really? But still, here I am telling you all this the minute you wake up.
Yeah, it's
While I
almost
was
like it's a
waiting,
terrible
I
idea.
thought to myself, I've been hiding so many
Speaking
things
of
from
terrible
him.
ideas,
As soon
you
as he wakes up,
don't
I'll tell him the
ever
truth. So,
use a gun
thanks for listening.
ever again.
I've been wanting to share that
That's
story
not how
with
you
someone
do
for a
it.
long time.
What made you
All right.
think that
Let me
was
get
going to go
I'll
your
let the
way?
others know you woke up.
I mean, you have to point your gun at the side of the head, not at your forehead. Duh! Don't they teach you anything in suicidal teenagers training?
Apparently not.
Oh boy. Anyways,
Did you getting upset stomach or something? God damn it, Junpei.
right, so why don't you talk about characters, for the love of God? Tell me
Okay.
about these chumps.
Okay, so Junpei is the chum character, essentially, your, like, partner in crime type of guy. Like, again, like Ryuji was in Persona 5. There's also a character very similar to him in Persona 4.
I mean, let me guess, there is one in every game. And why is this guy wearing a Shogun hat? A Shogun war helmet? What's the deal with this?
He really likes the samurai era, that's all. He's just really enthusiastic about teaching it.
You know, this seems like a very funny game to riff. If we had the chance to sit down and play it for a while. Oh boy. Okay, so that's the thing that's happening. Anyway, characters. Yes. Ross,
okay,
go,
so
please.
then you have the 3 female characters I already covered. There's also Akihiko, who was the guy that you saw briefly during the shadow attack. In the red shirt. He's basically obsessed with getting stronger. That's basically his entire deal.
Oh no, it's Vegeta, isn't it?
Not quite. Actually, kinda Junpei takes that role. Once he figures out that you can wield multiple personas, he gets really jealous. Especially when you're basically giving, like, command to the team. He's like, I'm not okay with this. And so he's always kinda like, trying to show you up and sometimes getting himself in bad situations because of it.
Oh, okay.
There you
so
are.
he has a hero complex, essentially.
The reason I asked you here is because
Akihiko is just kind of obliviously power-hungry.
Sounds to me like a Vegeta complex, to be specific.
I mentioned him earlier.
Exactly, that's the best comparison. But Akihiko, this guy, has more of just a...
Let me start off by asking you
getting more powerful for the sake of getting more powerful.
If I said that a day consists of more than 24 hours?
He's just kind of, basically, there was a tragic situation that occurred where, you know, he was unable to prevent someone's death. So, from that moment on, he got obsessed with just being stronger than everyone, so that would never happen again.
Is Vincent Valentine.
Something like that, yes. Mitsuru here is the cold one, cold logical one I said. She's also filthy rich. Her family is, like, completely loaded and funds most of the shit going on in this, including the robot.
I know how you feel.
You know, you are basically listing off the anime archetypes from our beachside high school spin-off.
Yeah, funny thing about that, there's also the brooding, mysterious character that joins your party about halfway through the game and doesn't stick around very long because of spoiler reasons.
We call them
right.
shadows. They only appear during the
dark hour. I'm sorry, but the more you say the dark hour, the more I think about the dork hour.
To be fair, if you actually sit here and try to explain the plot of a Persona game, it sounds like the stupidest thing ever. Like, think about it. Imagine that you have absolutely never played any of this series, and I just went up to you and said, hey, so let's talk about this game where it's a bunch of teenagers that live out their day-to-day life until midnight, in which case they experience an hour which no one else can between midnight and midnight, and then they use guns to shoot themselves in the head in order to fight monsters.
You know, I want you to tell me again everything you just said using the Chester B-Bomb voice.
Oh god, I can't do it.
Which would be appropriate. So there's like these groups of teenagers and they shoot themselves in the head to get more powerful because that's how it works? Apparently.
Which means it's
pretty
all up to you
much.
guys.
I mean, Persona 4's plot isn't much better in the sounding like a raving lunatic department.
Again, it's par for the course with Japanese storytelling, I guess.
What he's trying to say is,
I mean, it made it really hard to try to convince people to actually give the game a shot. So it's like, oh, what's this game about? Well, it's a supernatural murder mystery about teenagers that go inside the TV and use physical manifestations of their psyche to fight monsters, and also confront people's inner demons.
Why don't you just stay here?
That
in your
sounds
current room?
like Psychonauts.
I don't know what the whole.
That sounds like the
but
plot
I
of
guess it worked out in the
Psychonauts.
end.
Honestly.
Kinda, actually.
It is Psychonauts, isn't it?
Oh,
They enter somebody's mind and they fix whatever problem they have. That is like playing Psychonauts, except not as fun or as compelling.
Well, you're kind of judging Persona 4 before you've seen anything from it, but...
Okay, to be fair, can you honestly say to me that I will not find anything about it to make fun of or to complain?
Oh, there will be things to make fun of, but the thing is, the game is pretty good at making fun of itself. It basically is far more humorous and self-aware than other games in the franchise. So you'll have characters, you know, basically calling out how ludicrous some of these things going on are.
Okay, I love that we have completely jumped over Persona 3 to talk about Persona 4 already, because we have nothing interesting to say about Persona 3.
Basically, what you just missed is you're like, hey, do you want to join our super special organization where, you know, we go fight shadows during the dark hour? And you're like, I don't have a choice, do I?
Really?
Like, no, you don't.
If you say
Okay.
so, to be honest, I can't tell you much about it yet.
That was a lot of dialogue for that
Looks like you
exchange.
awakened to your power, and an unusual power it is.
So, what's the deal with this boy? Is he Satan?
Yet is bound
He is
by
not
none.
Satan.
It may prove to be your
He is
Is he a
death.
god?
Depending
He
on where
is
you end
the
up.
physical, he is one of
Do
the
you remember
manifestations of
when we first
death.
met? I expect you to honor your commitment.
Of course he is.
I'll be watching you, even if you forget about me.
So,
Okay,
is
then.
he going to give you a, you know, black-leathered notebook? By any chance?
No. No. Actually, the other games in the franchise really don't make any Death Note references, like, at all.
Persona 5 was littered with that.
With it. Yeah, to be fair, the, Persona 3 came out, I believe, in either 2004 or 2006, so it might have been being written before Death Note got popular.
Thought I was gonna fall asleep in there.
Yeah, Death Note can just burn in hell for all I care.
Yes, we know how much you hate Death Note.
Come to the lounge.
It has the same problems, really, as Persona 5 in the sense that
See you there.
it has a potentially interesting plot, but it's written in such a juvenile and on-the-nose way that it's completely deprived of any depth whatsoever.
She's probably busy with
It also
Stupid
focuses on the
Pets.
wrong
Unlike
character as a main protagonist.
So you would prefer to have followed
Wanna
L?
sense some hostility?
Well, let me put it this way.
Well, it's not that I
If
don't
you want
like
to
her.
make the villain
She's just-
your main character and the character to follow, you better make him interesting. He's about as one-note a supervillain can get. I am going to use this notebook to kill all my enemy and take over the world!
Pretty much.
There
He's
is
like, I'll
no-
become the god of this new world!
Yes, there is no nuance or complexity whatsoever. He just is a guy with a god complex
hurry
to
up.
begin with, and then he
Yes.
gets the mean to become magical Adolf Hitler. And that's it. There is
Like,
nothing interesting about that.
It might have been more interesting if he kind of developed that complex as things went along, but no, he just
That's
had
the
it from the
funny
beginning.
part. That is the funny part, because
This
there
is
was
Jim
a
Bailey,
live-action
class two.
drama,
He'll be staying.
Yes, I'm aware of it.
televised
He's
ATV,
staying here.
live-action drama of
You gotta
Death Note,
kill me.
in which
I
they
bumped into
take
him the
that
other
specific
night.
route
He has the
and make
potential
Light
to
Yagami
awaken
just
to
a
the
regular
I
guy
told him
who's
about us,
pushed
and he
into
agreed to
becoming
help.
Kira
You
due
have
to
the
circumstances. So,
And that
a more
actually is a
compelling
million times more
protagonist.
interesting in that regard.
Absolutely.
Yes, so yay, things are about to happen again. We're about
Okay,
to go to the dungeon.
everybody's here. I'd like
I
your
like that
undivided
we're talking
attention.
about anything but
About
Persona 3
Persona
at some
3.
point.
Mitsudo and Akihiko were the only Persona
This is the
users we
Persona
had,
whole,
but
not the
that
everything
number
else
recently
whole.
I know.
Therefore,
Okay, so
starting
let's see,
tonight
what
at
else
12
can we
a.m.,
discuss
I'd like
about
to commence
Persona
the
3 without
exploration
massive
of Tartarus.
spoilers, or...
This guy.
Shuji! Okay, he
Sounds
is
like
the
toothpaste.
headmaster of this dorm,
haven't seen it,
and
Hmm?
he
It's no
is...
surprise. since it only appears during the dark hour.
The dark hour, more
Just
like?
the shadows.
Let's see. I can't really go too far into him because it's heavy spoiler territory.
You can think of it as a
Well,
shadow net.
well, you can just assume I'll never play this game, so...
Right.
Yeah, but we
What
have
about
viewers
your
that
injury?
may, so
Since
that's the thing.
Akihiko hasn't fully recovered yet. He'll only
After
get exposed
how
to the
we
injuries.
made
Yeah,
fun of
I
it,
know.
I think we pretty much turned everyone off of this.
I'm
Well,
not so
again,
sure about this.
I
What about
only
you,
played
Mr.
like
Chen?
an hour
I'll
and a
stay
half
here.
for this
As you
playthrough,
know,
so I didn't get
I
to the
can't
point
summon
where
a
the game
persona.
opened up. Essentially opened up like right after I finished recording this, basically right after this dungeon excursion.
Okay, so...
And they
Whenever
basically
it
would have
takes
the
place?
same Persona gameplay that
Just
you
wait
would
a few
expect,
minutes.
going around,
It's
hanging
almost
out with
midnight.
people, doing things to raise your social stats, like eating a wild duck burger.
Wild Duck Burger. Let's talk about that. Let's spend the next 30 minutes talking about that.
Wild duck burger, really?
Sure, I mean... Yeah.
There's not much to talk about. They basically a burger place that exists and raises your courage. That's about it.
Because the food is so bad, you need guts in order to eat
Yeah,
it.
it's a mystery burger. You don't know what's in it.
Oh dear gosh. And I see something came out of a Ralph Bakshis film again.
Yes, that's Tartarus. That's the dungeon.
This is Tartarus, the labyrinth that reveals itself during the dark.
I like how her precise positioning in the center of the screen basically makes her look like she is Maria with the divine light behind her.
This is the nest you were
Oh
talking about?
man, no, only if it was the
Why?
protagonist would that
Why
be
does
so
school
on the
turn into a
nose.
giant tower? You
God
don't know
damn it.
either?
No.
I'm sure it's complicated.
Oh man,
Well,
this.
maybe now
Yeah,
we'll
basically
find
like, hey, this exists.
Mitsuru
Why?
and I have only
Oh.
gone in to take a peek.
Hey, I have an
First
idea.
time exploring it.
Let's split up,
Exciting,
gang.
isn't it? Some sort of clue here about the dark hour.
Akihiko.
I'd imagine
I respect your
Akihiko would be
enthusiasm,
Fred.
but you won't be accompanying us today.
I know. You don't have to remind me.
I guess then our main character is either Shaggy or Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy-Doo, sure. Yeah, sure, we'll demean the main character. I
And
don't even care.
Junpei is Shaggy, obviously.
Junpei is definitely Shaggy.
But it sure is creepy.
And this one is Daphne.
This is only the end.
Yeah,
So
that's
by
definitely
Lies beyond
elimination,
the
I
door.
guess that Tsundere is Velma.
We'll have you three
No,
get a
actually,
feel for this
Velma is
place.
the
Why
geeky
don't you go
character
have a
that
look
hasn't
around?
been introduced
What?
yet.
By ourselves? We're not asking you to go very
The
In that case-
Navigator.
And I'll be feeding
We
you
have
information
too
from
many
We're
female
also gonna appoint a
characters.
leader to make any necessary
How are you gonna fit the robot in there? And the dog? I guess the
as
dog
I said,
fits. Yeah, the
as I
dog
said,
fits.
the robot. As I said, the robot is the robot made from the Richie Rich cartoon.
No, I refuse to accept it.
But he has fought them before.
Seriously?
That's true, but there's
Oh
another reason.
man.
You two. Can you summon your persona without any
Can you shoot
difficulties
yourself in
like
the
you
head
can?
without any
Yeah, of
difficulties?
course I can.
I think so.
These are shadows.
It's
we're
the
talking
same,
about
really.
here. Without your persona,
You're screwed.
You're
I'm
screwed!
aware of that.
All right, let's head inside. Are you ready?
You actually named yourself Funboy. I just
Yes.
noticed.
That's the spirit.
Yes. Wow, I did that like at the beginning of the playthrough. You really have not been paying attention.
It's Persona.
I guess we have to go again.
Ah. Ah.
Your favorite place.
For you.
It feels like we've been
Time has
here
come for you
30
to
times
build your
already.
tower. The tower
Since the
that
beginning
you are
of
about
this.
to venture into.
This is the
How
third.
did it come to be? For what
Ugh.
purpose does it exist? Regrettably, you are not yet capable of answering these.
Thanks,
Bring-
ass.
Yes, bring me the AB normal brain, Igor.
It leads here, although no one but
Ugh.
you can see it. Your power is unique.
I just
It's like the
don't
number
like the
zero.
idea that the main character never feels like hey, it would be a good idea to explain to others, hey, there is this place I see that I go to, and it gives me the power to wield multiple personas. That's one less mystery to solve.
You will see the faces of possibility before you.
Oh yeah, you get new personas in a very different way in this game.
That's exactly what I said.
Your power will grow accordingly. Be sure to keep that in mind.
And where do you learn that?
My spare time
Here!
will soon be spent.
It's a place, guys!
Please,
I swear!
again of your own accord. I'll tell you then about my true role, the manner in which I can best assist you. Until then,
Takes out a gun and shoots you in the head.
farewell.
That's the manner I can best assist you.
I like to think that he's talking to the dog.
Right, here it goes.
Hey, are you alright?
Yeah, what's up? You look like a zombie.
Huh? What door?
Man.
I don't like you.
Have you been nodding off?
Dude, you're supposed to be our leader. Get your head in the game.
Come on, let's go.
A douchey baseball hat.
And you liked Ryuji.
Ryuji is fine, I say while grinding my teeth.
Okay, so you're about to see actual gameplay.
This is it, huh?
I hope I don't get lost.
And the video is almost over.
All here.
Whoa.
Yes.
Is that you,
Outstanding.
Senpai?
I'll be providing audio backup from here on out.
Wait, you mean you can see inside here?
It's my persona's ability.
Are you sure you're not that AI from System Shock?
That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Now, based on your current location, you can expect to encounter enemies at any minute. They shouldn't be too tough, but proceed with caution. Practice makes perfect.
Right.
You can't hide behind walls in here, can you?
No.
Because that's one cool gameplay feature from Persona 5 that I enjoyed at every turn.
Nope, this is Mementos.
Mm-hmm.
With
So
briefcases with items.
is every floor going to have a chessboard pavement?
Not every floor, but they're going to look very similar. Like, honestly, Tartarus doesn't, look very different from one another, sadly.
Yeah, Heidi, 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 ho!
Takuba has informed me about your power, but nevertheless, you have minimal combat experience. Would you like me to explain the basics
I'm good.
of battle?
Oh, come on!
The primary offensive options available to you in battle are attack and skill. Attack
Boring.
corresponds to the weapon equipped, while skill relates
Hey,
to
someone had to record actual dialogue for this.
Tutorials are for lamos! I'm out of here!
Oh no.
Use whichever option best suits the situation. Keep attacking until you've defeated the enemy, but pay careful attention to your stamina. That's it for now.
No, please repeat it.
Okay. Then I want you to defeat the enemy before you. Try using both the skill and attack options.
That was easy! I'm out of here! God, slow-mos.
Yeah, I don't think Sonic would have quite as much trouble in this. Love what they've done with the place, with the blood splatters and everything.
Is that just the core, or is, people's blood?
I don't know, actually.
Persona 3, the deep lore of!
Now's a good time for me to explain about attack properties.
I hope you're getting experience points for this tutorial fights.
You do.
Nearly every type of attack is associated with a particular property. For example, Swords can be used to do slash attacks, while
You
bows are
don't
used to do
say! I could have never
other
guessed!
properties.
Thank you, oh almighty shock system lady.
Enemies are vulnerable to
System
certain
shock
types of
lady.
In
Yes.
other words, they have weaknesses. A fire skill
not
will do
every
greater
enemy has
damage to an enemy
weaknesses.
That's weak against fire. With my power, I can
Yes,
analyze an enemy
that's
to
very
determine its
annoying,
weaknesses and
honestly.
strengths. That
Yes.
falls under tactics. Do you follow? The enemies you're facing have a weakness that you can exploit.
Why don't you give it a try?
You're not the boss of me. Shut up, Mom, you're not my dad. Shut up, Dad, you're not my mom.
Yes. Yes, that's accurate.
Yes.
The enemy is literally a puddle of something.
Yes.
The enemy is a puddle of mud. Get it? They are the worst punk rock band. You know, for a second I thought the enemy just turned into the giant geometrical block in the distance.
Background.
In the background, yes. Oh boy.
Oh, and like this dungeon is completely randomly generated, like every time.
Yeah, that's also something that was typical of Mementos.
Yes. I also stabbed that guy through a wall.
Were you able to exploit the enemy's weakness?
Yes,
in the
yes, I
last
was.
battle? If you didn't already notice, doing so will also
Shut
grant
up.
you an additional attack.
How could I have not noticed?
An enemy will lose its balance if you exploit its weakness or land a critical hit. This will give you the opportunity to perform an additional action. In other words, you get to do
One more?
thing.
That's
One
better
more.
than no more.
Attacking the same enemy,
Indeed.
Or if you prefer, attack a different target. And if you succeed in knocking another enemy off balance, then you can act yet again. Which means
So
you can
this is
remain on the
basic.
offensive
So
as long as you can keep
this
up.
is basically the
This strategy is
same
essential
battle
to secure
mechanic
victory.
for every
However,
Persona
remember
game
this.
after this
An
one.
enemy that's already
Yes.
lost its balance cannot be knocked off
So
balance
basically,
again.
yeah, this was
You
the
can't knock
debut of
down
what's been
someone
called
who's
the
lying
one
around,
more
right?
system.
It's the same idea.
You know, it's a really
To knock an
good
enemy
battle
off
system,
balance,
I'll give
you
it
need
that.
to know its weaknesses. So don't hesitate
It does
to
add a
ask
lot of
them now.
strategy to battles,
I'll be
but
sure
it
to
kind
show
of
this
falls
to the
apart
others
when you
as
have
well.
enemies
Got
and personas
Then
that don't
proceed
have
with the battle.
weaknesses.
Yes, that's
It's-
a bit of that's a bit unfair considering.
Defeated.
Also, in this game, you can't take control of your party members.
You can't?
No.
That's bollocks!
So there's a running meme that once you get Mitsuru in your battle party, she'll keep charming enemies instead of actually, like, attacking them. Which is, like, the most annoying thing ever.
That's
enemy is
complete
vulnerable.
bollocks and it ruins your game entirely!
Basically, what you have to do is, as soon as you can actually have your, you can still choose what attacks your companions have access to when they get more than 8. So basically, you have to delete things that they are using superfluously.
Did you just say, delete!
Yes, delete!
Delete! Delete! Delete!
And this is how you get new personas in this game.
How?
Yep, I just got Pixie.
So, wait, you defeat them and you just get it?
Yeah, randomly at the end of battles, you will occasionally get an opportunity to get a bonus card, which could be a persona, experience, or gold. Also, you don't earn gold normally in this game. So
How?
being a battle by itself does not award you gold. You have to actually take the gold cards at the end of it to get money.
Huh. That seems annoying.
You can also find it in dungeons and specifically sell items. You get a lot of junk weapons in this game that you can sell off.
So, you're trying to surprise attack him.
Yes.
Wait, hold on a minute, I just noticed. Is your character a girl?
No.
From a distance, it looked like he was wearing a skirt, but I just realized it's the tail end of his jacket.
Yes.
It's a very...
All-out attack.
It is a very flimsy jacket.
Yes. I know about the all-out attack Mitsuru. I've already done it twice.
shadows become stronger the further you advance. If you don't think you can win a battle, retreat at once. There may
Except
be
for
times,
bosses.
however, when an escape will be impossible. This battle is one of those times. Good luck.
Don't die!
Okay, can I just say that the first few musical notes of the battle theme music, they sound like a Swedish guy trying to sing. This might be offensive, but I couldn't help it. It's the Swedish chef from the Muppets.
Yeah, I'm actually not a huge fan of most of Persona 3's soundtrack, mainly because Mass Destruction is awful in my opinion.
I mean, it's not bad, but if you listen to it for 60 hours, it might just be atrocious.
80 hours, actually.
Never.
So this is another opportunity for me to get a new Persona. Asparagus! I mean Asparus.
Did you just say asparagus?
Yes.
Did you say it on purpose?
Yes.
Obviously. It's less funny.
Aww. Okay, and we are just about done with this.
Well, this has been a riveting showcase of Persona 3, hasn't it?
Let's see. There's one last thing that you can do in Persona 3 that you can't do in 5's Mementos. You can split up your party and have them go explore individually.
There is the risk that might die, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, basically you're having them single-handedly try to take the enemies.
Everyone, spread out.
Yes,
and
no.
individually.
So, I mean, if you're within a vicinity, you'll join in the battle, or anyone else in the vicinity, you know. It's a pretty large vicinity, but, you know, doing a one-on-one match could be bad, especially with certain characters like Yukari, who is a healer mostly.
Right.
And whose bow... basically, the funniest thing about Yukari is that
So,
one of her battle quotes is, "I never miss," and she misses the most out of all of the main
You'll
characters.
get used to it.
Because her weapons have the lowest accuracy.
I never knew I had that kind of power.
It's pretty humorous.
I'm beat.
That's because you were bouncing around like a little kid.
Yeah,
I
you
never
look pretty
miss.
tired yourself,
Shoots and
Yuka-tan.
misses.
I'm still
Yep.
trying to catch my breath,
I did it on.
actually.
I meant to
That's
do
the
that.
effect of the dark element. You'll become
Yeah,
fatigued
see,
more
I
easily.
hit
Don't worry
that
about it.
fly
You'll adapt. But
over
I'm
there.
surprised. You all did much better than I expected. At this rate, they'll catch up to you in no time, Akihiko.
I will see about that.
Hey, any
he,
event.
he flicks his hair coolly, like cool tears down my feces.
No!
Well, I guess this is it then. We very erratically discussed Persona 3 every once in a while in between all of the other rambling.
Yes.
I hope this was entertaining at the very least. It did not clarify anything about this game for me, but that's okay. So join us next time when we shall do something a little bit different, if everything goes right. We will be tackling Persona 4.
If I can work out the technicals of it, yes. I've been having trouble with this, because my computer does not seem to be powerful enough to do everything I want it to do in this regard. So I'm trying to find ways to skirt that.
But until that, thank you for joining us, everybody. I'll be seeing you next time for something else, or maybe something that's more of the same.
Persona 4 is a lot better.
I mean, you keep saying that.
It is, I swear to all things sacred and holy, Persona 4 is infinitely better than Persona 3.
Well, you know, that isn't saying much, to be honest.
Persona 4's characters and story is better than Persona 5's as well. Again, low bar in your opinion, but...
Alrighty then. I guess that's it then. Well, no more games, guys. This is serious stuff. Rotor... Yes, Rotor will send in the boys.
Oh no!
Speaking of which, we had that fanfiction to finish up at some point.
We do.
Fun times.
All right.
See you.
See ya.